people were talking. I don't want to change the subject, but people were
Yes.
talking about you and they're talking about, well, what is he doing with that money? He's doing a campaign to raise money to build
Oh,
a school.
man.
And so I said, but they don't ask that about when they pay them tithes to the
No, they
churches
don't.
every week.
No, they
don't
don't.
say nothing about their pastor riding
Never.
down in the big fat
Never.
Cadillac.
They
don't
never
have no
ask them
problem about
rappers.
that.
They don't go to them rappers and
Yeah.
say, what you do with all the money we do with our ticket sales.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen them down at the school board
That's
meeting
right.
asking the school district of Philadelphia, what you doing with my tax dollars.
right.
But so when a black man say he wants to raise money and do something positive, now we need a business plan. We need a
That's
curriculum.
right.
Negro ain't even got a GED.
That's
Talk
right.
about he need to review my business plan. Get the hell out of here.
That's right. They did the same thing with the millionaire project. Well, what the Nation of Islam do with all that money?
Yeah.
I gave, and I don't care. They could have used my money for wallpaper, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely, and the argument don't stop, Brother Dave, because now that I got the school, now they
Yeah.
say, well, is it really his? How long he gonna take to open it? You understand me?
I heard
Why
that.
the lights
I heard
ain't
that,
on?
yeah.
Of course the lights ain't on because I'm waiting for the electrician to do the full
That's right.
inspection, because if I turn that electric on and start a fire, we ain't gonna have no school.
As a matter of fact, the situation where they was talking about the beloved John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, it's not about individual slander or worship. It's about systems.
That's
I
right.
focus on systems. Just like you got a lot of black people now talking about Donald Trump and what Donald
Yeah.
Trump don't do.
Yeah.
Don't make this about a personality. That's what they want you to do.
That's right.
Because if you limited this to personality and you ignore the evil of the system, all they got to do is switch Trump out, switch somebody else in, and you'll think it's doing better when it's doing the same thing.
That's right.
It's not the person in the office, it's the office itself.
That's right. You can
The
take the-
presidency.
That's
The
right.
personality don't matter.
You can take Donald Trump out, put in Mike Pence, and what's going to be any better?
Exactly.
You know,
Or Cory Booker or,
Yeah.
or Bernie Sanders or
That's
whoever
right.
else.
That's
Nothing will change. When you vote for the president, you are voting for a personality, not a policy.
and
The policy is already set.
Which exercises institutionalized racism.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll tell you, it's amazing. So, Colin, did you have something else you wanted to say?
Wait.
Okay.
The reason why I asked that, I'm not part of whatever the other caller was talking about.
Okay.
The reason why I asked that is because for some reason, especially how I grew up, people praise John F. Kennedy the same way they praise Obama. So what I'm saying is Obama, like John F. Kennedy, was just the bogus president too. I'm trying to say that in all the what you call it, discussing each role, like Bill Clinton, how he played a role in the destruction of blacks. I'm touching on what role did John F. Kennedy play, because no one that I know, even at that time, has criticized John F. Kennedy like that. Like he got swept under the rug. That's what I'm asking.
I agree with you. He was also a manipulator of black emotion. But of course, he was murdered, and LBJ took his place, and LBJ was also a manipulator of black emotion. Let me say this. One of our weaknesses as a people when it comes to politics, we have to like you personally in order to vote for you. That is a very bad political practice of black people. I do not have to like you to do business with you. I do not have to like you to vote for you. Business and politics is about getting resources and opportunities, concessions for exchange. When I go into your store, I ain't got to like you to buy that automobile. I'm paying for a service or a product. Black people have to eliminate this personalization of politicians to the point that you can get over on us if we like you or play to our emotions. I can hate you and still vote for you if we agree to exchange on the things you need for what I need. Take the emotions out of it.
That's right. That's why when I go, sometimes I'm guilty. Sometimes I go to these Dominican stores and our women say, "Hey, Poppy." I said, "Oh, why you gonna call that man Poppy?"
Right.
Hey,
Right.
Mama. Hey, Mommy. I was, that ain't your mama.
That's right. That's right.
But anyhow, because they think, well, maybe they don't like me. They like me. They don't like you. I ain't said they don't like all of us. But that's what I'm saying. They don't. If they have a white person has a black neighbor or a coworker, they say, "Oh, I like Mr. Jones. He's a nice guy. I just don't like all the other ones."
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
I was at a movie theater. I saw a white lady walk up to the only brother working behind the concession stand selling the popcorn.
Yeah.
And he was very stoic, very straight-faced. And she said, "Oh, I like you." And I didn't like it because what it felt like was an energy of maternalism, where I need to approve of your black existence in my place of business. I don't like that. And white people have a habit of talking about what black people they like as opposed to which black people they don't like. Because if you like him, then you don't like us. Not that we care, but why did you feel we needed your validation in the first place? I don't go around saying, I like you. It doesn't make a difference to me.
It don't make a bit of a difference. You know, we like ourselves. At least we're supposed to like ourselves. Too many of us don't like ourselves.
Absolutely.
Too many of us don't like who we are. I had a sister the other day. I wrote to her and I said, would you be interested in going to Africa next year? She said, well, I never wanted to go to Africa. I said, well, would you rather go to the Dominican Republic? I said, well, people are falling off like flies. I said, you know, there's more people dying in Philadelphia and more people dying in the Dominican Republic than they dying in Africa. I said, we stay in 5-star oceanfront hotels, you know, but you don't want to go there? Why? What is it that you don't like about Africa that make you not ever want to go to Africa?
Right, but they'll go to Europe in a heartbeat. Greece, France, Britain, Paris.
Yeah.
Negroes love their slave man. Black people are in love with white folks, and they do not want to admit it. We are in love with white people.
Yeah, that's amazing. So anyhow, you have something you want to say, Eric? I mean, Patrick?
I want to also ask going back to the schools.
Yeah.
The schools?
Yes, sir.
What are the philosophies, or what is the philosophy on which these schools are being established? And what are your expectations for the student that you are actually educating?
Yes, sir. Great question. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is going to be a departure from the current paradigm of education in America. Most schools today are college preparatory academies. Their job is to simply get your child accepted into a college. For me, that is too low of a goal for me to set. Why? Because colleges are businesses. Any child with a GED can get into a college. Any child with a diploma can get into a college. So to say that I exist to get your child accepted to a college doesn't do anything for me, because they all can get in. When you see these schools that say 100% of our kids got accepted to college, and all the kids will get accepted to college because colleges need your money. They're businesses. FDMG is a nation-building institution. We're not just about getting the kids into college. We want to create black guys. We want to create black entrepreneurs. We want to create black masters of black community empowerment and leadership. 6 key sciences make up the curriculum sound work of the FDMG: agricultural and agronomical. They will learn how to grow, how to test the soil. I want them to be George Washington Carvers in the 5th grade. Okay. Political and military science. I want them to understand white supremacy, how it operates. Why is Africa the richest continent in the world, but the people are in the most impoverished condition? Why are 1 out of every 4 black men in the mass incarceration system? Why do black women out-educate and out-earn their black men? And was this systematically done? Okay, why is Jesus still white in the black community after 400 years? So there must be a political and a military science curriculum. And on the military side, we will be teaching combat. Oh, yes, we will. With weapons and without weapons. Both with arms and without arms. There will be a Marcus Garvey Jr. Gun Academy. We will have an Archery Academy. We will also have a Knife Academy for self-defense. We must teach our boys that there's nothing wrong with having a gun if you know how to use it. There will also be the science of African spirituality and cosmology. They will learn Ifa. They will learn Dogon. They will learn Kemet. They will learn the Ashanti system. All of the great rich spiritual traditions of Africa, they will study. I myself, I'm an Ifa devotee. I want them to understand all the ways we worship God and dealt with the ancestors and tapped into the Loas, the Abusums, the Neters, and the Orishas. The next one is science of the black man and the black woman and the black community. I want them to understand their body, their connection to the Most High. I want them to understand the female's body. Become the someone that other people work for.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be the African and black history teacher.
That's great.
I'm not giving that to nobody. That's me. Because people are sending their children to my school because they expecting them to have direct contact with me, not just in the school, but in the instructional classroom. So I'm going to be the black history teacher. I must have that. I'm going to be the political science teacher as well. They will get that from me. And I will probably be the African spirituality teacher, although I will have adjunct priests and priestesses come in to assist with that. But I want to give them as much of me as they possibly can. And before school even start, we go out into the woods. Before school even start, we start our rites of passage. Before school even start, we out there with manhood training in the bush, learning how to live off the land, learning how to purify your water, learning how to set up your defense grounds. We're going to make sure that they're ready for class before class even starts.
That's right. Now, I was just thinking, so, and that's for young men.
Yes.
So now, what do you think about the young women? They don't have a counterpart to that?
Absolutely. We also have the Anna Douglas and Amy Garvey Academy, which is going to come a couple years later.
Okay.
Now, the beauty of the Wilmington campus is we have two schools.
Right.
Because we have that second school, there's a strong possibility that we will start the Girl Academy much earlier than we expected. So the girls could come as early as 2 years after we start.
So you will be principal and administrator of both schools?
Absolutely.
Because nobody else could teach it like you teach.
No, sir. I'm not risking that to nobody.
Yeah,
now,
right.
The scariest thing for me is going to be what? When I start another campus,
right.
And then another campus. Because now there's not enough days in a week to be at each campus. So I'm going to have to trust my principals that I select to implement the curriculum and the school culture the way I designed it to be. And that's a scary thing because personnel is everything in education. I don't care how good the curriculum is. If you ain't got the people to deliver it the way you want to deliver it, it won't work. So when I graduate to becoming a superintendent, okay, then I'm going to have to trust the education of all the different campuses to the principals I choose, and I am a little concerned about that.
Now, speaking about schools, tell us about the parents allowing the schools to medicate their children.
Oh, man, I wish they stopped this, brother. When a parent tells me that the school put my child on Ritalin, that is a false statement. The school can't force you to put your child on Ritalin. They can force you to keep your child on Ritalin. But they can't force you to put your child on Ritalin. When a teacher says, we want him to go get evaluated for ADHD, well, guess what? Do we diagnose ADHD in the school? No. ADHD is not a special ed disability. You got to go to the clinic, to the hospital, to one of these behavioral health centers to get diagnosed with ADHD. So if the parent doesn't take their child to the hospital, to the clinic, to get the ADHD evaluation, there can be no ADHD.
But they trick the parents into believing that their child needs it because of certain checklists that they have.
Exactly. ADHD is a fraud. You know what ADHD is? Ain't no daddy at home disorder.
Wow.
ADHD. 85% of black boys diagnosed with ADHD don't have a father figure in their life. This has nothing to do with brain neurology. This is about a war on black men that locks the fathers up and then take the drugs that sent the father to jail, call it Ritalin, concerta, meditate, and give it to their sons so they can sit still long enough to learn about Christopher Columbus.
I heard you mention that the Ritalin is
Schedule B drug, one molecule away from crack, and in the same category as opium and cocaine. And this is what we give our children. The Drug Enforcement Agency has Ritalin in the same category as cocaine and opium.
Wow.
And we give this to our sons. Now think about it, brother. The average drug addict can only afford to get high once or twice a day.
Right.
But because you got a prescription, your son could get high 3 times a day. Wow. And then some of our boys are taking 2 and 3 drugs. One drug for ADHD, another drug for anger, and another drug for mood swings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow. And so what happens when the child or the parent decides that they want to take the child off?
They better be careful because if they take that child off that medicine and they didn't do it without the supervision of a psychiatrist, and they don't have a letter from the psychiatrist saying that I've decided to discontinue this medication, the school can call Child Protective Services, DHS, DIFUS, whatever else they call it where you live, and they will come and they will confiscate your children from your home. It's called medical neglect, and it's the fastest growing reason for why black children are having their children taken out of their homes.
Wow.
They will take your babies if you stop drugging them up. And this is why I hate to see black children in the foster care system, because once you get adjudicated and you're now under the ward of the state, you're going to get so much medication. You might never be this. Oh my God. A child living in a group home, he's getting medicated out of his mind. The drug companies load up on the kids that are supervised by the state because they know the state ain't going to do nothing about the overdosing.
So what happens when the child turns 18 and he gets out of school?
He simply stops using the Ritalin and the Concerta and the Metadate, and he go get some crack, some heroin, or some opioids. Here's the question I have. White America is up in arms about the opioid crisis, right? How many of those children were introduced to opioid addiction through childhood psychiatrics?
Wow.
This is a holocaust.
So if the child, well, now becoming an adult, decides that they want to stop on their own, are there ramifications and withdrawal problems?
Oh, without question, chemical addiction is real. Your body is used to taking that Ritalin. Think about it. Average black boy start taking psychiatrics at 5. You're going to take them till you 18 to 21.
Yeah.
Your body been chemically addicted for over 15 years.
Yeah.
You're going to need another substance to replace the one that the insurance is no longer going to pay for. Now, here's the crime, Brother Dave. Here's the crime. It was okay to take the crack in school, but the minute you take it as an adult self-medicating, it's a crime.
Yeah. Wow. They get you coming and
Oh,
going. So now, Patrick works in behavioral sciences. Did you know about all that, Patrick?
You know,
Or have you recommended for your students?
what's the question again? What's the question again? What's the question again?
Oh, wait a minute. What?
What was the question again?
Oh, okay.
No. I want to be able to respond to that.
Yeah.
I was saying that you're a behavioral specialist, working in the behavioral specialist field. I said that you know all this information that we just talked about with the Ritalin and all of those addictions. And the other follow-up question was, have you yourself recommended any of these Ritalin and stuff to children?
No, I'm not qualified to recommend any medication to any child as a behavioral
Okay, so are you
specialist.
talking to this microphone?
Yeah.
I can't hardly hear you.
I don't hear him either.
Yeah, I'm not qualified to recommend.
Is this mic? Is the volume levels?
Yeah, I got the volume up. I got the mic on. I can hear me and you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Not quite.
Really? What's going
I
on?
don't know. Maybe you put some buttons over there because you don't want to
No,
answer.
let me push it. I'm not qualified to really recommend anything like that to any parent because I'm not a psychiatrist.
Okay.
You know,
Alright.
what I know is that as a behavioral therapist or behavioral specialist, we go to behavioral therapy first before we even think about talking about medication, because we have most kids having behavior issues both at home and in the schools that I know of. But I think that if
Something wrong
parents,
with your mic. I can't hear you. Did you pull the plug on your
nothing, I
microphone?
didn't pull anything. I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
You messed me up.
No, I asked you the wrong question. All right, I hear. So listen, we're gonna let. I was gonna let you off because we had another call, but the caller just dropped off the line too.
Yeah.
But okay, so because a lot of people don't know about those circumstances with the child and the school system, what are some of the symptoms that? So who makes the recommendation? The teacher, the counselor, or the principal?
Any of them.
Anybody. Yeah.
Because they know the black parent going to listen to them. Here's what black parents need to learn how to do. Just say no. You can refuse. I'm not getting my child evaluated for ADHD.
Right.
I don't believe in it.
Right.
The only thing that's going to come from an ADHD diagnosis is what? Drugs.
And so they say if they agree to the evaluation, then they no longer have control over that.
Well, once the diagnosis is made, it's difficult for the parent to refuse the medicine because when the school calls up Child Protective Services, right? Child Protective Services is going to say your child has a psychiatric condition that requires medication and you're refusing to administer. So we now have to step in for the welfare of the child and force the medicine against your will. And because we know you're not going to give them the drugs, we're going to take the children from you to make sure they get their drugs. And what's so criminal about Child Protective Services is you don't even get a hearing before they take your child. It's up to the social worker on the spot to determine whether or not you are fit as a parent. The social worker has more power than the judge. In the Child Protective Services Bureau, the social worker can take your kids on the spot. You don't get no hearing. It's not like you get a ticket and you come to court and then the judge hears your argument as to why you should keep your child. No, they can remove your child on an allegation.
Now, speaking about allegations and court hearings, how did you make out with those allegations and court hearings that you went to on your
Still going through them.
Still going on?
Still going through them.
Wow.
One of the big problems I got now, you have 10 years in the state of Pennsylvania to get licensed. I got my doctorate in 2012, right?
Right.
That means I got until 2022. I got 3 years to get my license.
Right.
It only takes a year. You got to do a postdoc year.
Right.
Basically 1 year full-time work, which I really don't have time to do because we got to school.
Right.
But I'm thinking about trying to get it done because what's the use of having earned your doctorate and you don't even get the license, even though I may not use it. But I'm afraid that they're not going to give me my license. I don't know if the state of Pennsylvania will give me my license even after I fulfill the requirements.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I haven't gone for it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really need it anyway because most of my work is as a certified school psychologist.
Right.
But it would be nice to have later in life, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to give it to me.
Wow. All right, so if you have another caller on the phone line, if you want to join the conversation before we run out of time, you can call us at 215-634-8065. I'm going to try to find out what's wrong with Patrick's microphone.
Yeah.
You can hear the caller.
Yeah.
Welcome to New World View. What's your first name? Where you calling from?
Hello,
Yes, that's you.
my name is Rebecca, and I'm calling from West Philly.
Okay.
Thank you for taking my call, and I am so glad that you're talking about that. That's been a pet peeve of mine for years.
Mm-hmm.
I work in early childhood education, and they support their brilliant, and then they
Good evening. Welcome to New World View.
drugs, and I'm glad you spoke on what happens when they stop taking
Sure.
it.
What's your first name?
Dr. Penn, that some of these things that are going on in the community is the result of prejudice or things that have affected those children's brain. It's insane. But I'm just glad you're talking about that visit. And I also want to say, David, I saw you on television Monday last week. Community.
What you saw? It was me.
Yes, it is. And children, the young ladies dancing. And what touched my heart was the little sisters that were up there dancing with them.
So now the Unity Community, that's with Brother Rob and Wanda Dickinson in Camden, New Jersey with Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble.
Yeah, you wanted, I think, specifically I saw it. I just happened to be flipping past and I saw it. And
Oh.
they took to the stage. And you're that sheepy.
Oh, I was receiving an award from them. Yeah, that wasn't recent though. That was a little while ago. And let me tell you, when they gave me that award, I called Vothi Jabate from the African Cultural Alliance of North America to come up and share that award with me because when I worked for the African Cultural Alliance of North America as the Director of Arts and Culture, they allowed me to exercise my creativity, and we brought a lot of programming to Akana. In fact, Akana is having their 12th annual African Akana Fest at Penn's Landing on the first Sunday of August the 4th, and I implore everyone to attend that. But go on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed that. And I wish I could go to Ghana with you all. But back in the early 80s, my blog to the nightclub, they talked about Ghana and how what Ghana had offered man and stuff of African Americans that wanted to come back there. I wish I could go with you all.
I enjoy Bob Laws. I learned a lot from Bob Laws. And just like I learned a lot from Bob Laws that I mentioned earlier, that I learned so much from Dr. Umar Johnson. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad once said, if you hold up two glasses, one dirty and one clear, it's on you to choose which one you want to consume. And I choose to consume the education and information that I received from Dr. Umar Johnson and Bob Laws as well. In fact, one of the things I always say about Bob Laws, he said, when white people discriminate against us, it's not because there's anything wrong with us, it's because something is wrong with them.
Well, I'll see you all Sunday.
Yes, ma'am. Come on out. Garden of Prayer, 2217 North 29th Street. Doors open up at 3. We will have vendors. Message at 4. Book signing to follow. I will have copies of my book, Psychoacademicholocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys. There will be a Q&A session, but most of all, it's absolutely free to all children. 17 and under, they don't have to pay. Bring the grandkids, bring the kids on the corner, bring everybody. And also, elders are free. 65 and older, no cost to the elders, no cost to the children. Everyone else can pay at the door or get your tickets at DrUmarJohnson.com. $20 donation to help us pay for the programs that we're pushing this summer.
I didn't know you had a book. Did you bring it with you?
I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like
I'll
to
make
read
sure
it.
you get a copy, though.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to come next Sunday and get a copy. You wanna
Yes,
have
sir.
it with you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so listen, we're going to go back to our phone lines and talk to, good evening, caller. Welcome to New World View. Yes, you're on.
Hey, how are you, brother?
Good.
Peace and love.
Doing good.
Johnson, man, I had the pleasure of speaking with you the other day.
So, and I didn't know you by your name, but I know you by YouTube. You understand?
Yes.
and I did a lot of watching on you in the Breakfast Club. And I must say, it is commendable to have somebody who has sense in America. Somebody who's going to open up schools to make sure that our young black brothers
are not only in school, but they can keep the school good, do great, and protect themselves.
and their sisters.
Touch it again.
Now, what I would like to know, Dr. Johnson, is how can I do business with you in the school?
Well, number one, take my number and reach out to me. You can reach me. Anyone can. 215-989-9858. Again, that's 215-989-9858. I also invite you to come on out to the school the day after tomorrow, Tuesday, January the 25th. There will be a cleanup day at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy campus from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. We're going to be moving some furniture around, shifting it from the small school to the big school to make way for the contractual work that'll begin next month, July.
The location of that so people know what
Yeah, what I want them to do is to text me for the address if anyone wants to come on out. That way I can keep account of how many volunteers we have. So just text me at 215-989-9858. I also want to let the people know that in addition to being in Philadelphia June 30th at the Garden of Prayer, 2217 North 29th Street, 1 week from tonight, please come on out, 4 o'clock. Can't wait to see everybody lecturing in my hometown for the first time in 3 years. But next weekend, Saturday, July the 6th, Brother Dave, I'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Carol Hoffner Center, 7 o'clock in Charlotte on Saturday, July 6th. And then on Sunday, July the 14th, I'll be in Hempstead, Long Island, New York at the Morris Park for a lecture out there as well. Then we're off to Ghana. Then we come back. I got Jacksonville, Florida, August 30th. Orlando, Florida, August 31st. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, September the 1st. Tulsa, Oklahoma, November the 2nd. Oklahoma City, November the 3rd. I also have Brazil, Colombia, Brussels, Belgium coming up on the schedule as well.
I saw your...
Dr. Johnson, before I get off the phone, I just want to say also to all callers who are listening, WURD, as I believe I do, we care about all people and just happen to focus on people that look like us.
That's right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not against the Constitution. And that's why the 13th and 14th and the 15th Amendment were put in so that black lives do matter.
Absolutely powerful. And make sure all listeners tonight donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Restoration Fund. We need $1 million. You can donate 3 ways. Number one, cash.me/$FDMG school. I repeat, you can donate through the Cash app. Cash.me/$FDMG school. You can mail it in. Payable to FDMG Academy, 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. That's 9634. P.O. Box, 9634 Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. And the last way you can donate is show up Sunday, June 30th, 2217 North 29th Street with a check on money order payable to the FDMG Academy.
Or cell phone for Cash App.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
You said, I will talk to you on your phone line, brother.
Yes, sir. Talking to you, Dr. Umar.
Oh, yes, sir.
So now, if we have 1 million people listening to this show right now.
Yes, sir. Well, if that's the case, if they all donate $1, we can have the schools up and running by September.
That's right.
I don't understand it, Brother Dave. I got almost 500,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
I have almost 500,000 followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
You would think with 1 million followers on social network, $1, we should be done.
Oh, my goodness.
So I need everybody to donate right now, please, for the sake of black boys everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, we have another caller calling in. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the New Review. What's your first name? Where you calling from? Mo, what's up, man? Thank you, bro.